Yeah. Hey, welcome to Biz Chat VO Influencer. And welcome to Katie Leigh, my guest. Hey.
Good morning, good day, good
Yay.
afternoon, good world. Hi.
Yay. Yeah, for whatever you're listening, right? You
Yeah.
wanted me to, I said I didn't have a standard opening. And so Katie was coming up with a song I could play, which I think is influenced by her own work. Pick a little, duck a
Well,
little.
chat. It made
Yeah.
me think of chat, right? So, yeah.
Biz Chat, Biz Talk, Biz Chat, Biz. I don't know. I
Hey,
suck.
you work with you know a composer. Why don't you have him come up with something?
You're right, you're right. I will work on that. That's a good suggestion. Okay,
Tell him
so
I
what
said so.
I will. Let me do this. Let me say that I wanted you to come because you've been doing an incredibly large amount of work that basically makes my head spin. And when I first met you, you were very much the artist and the voice actress, really didn't talk too much about business. But I have to say that was a long time ago. I think that was like 11 years ago, 2014 when we met at that
Probably, yeah.
conference. Yeah. So I wanted to bring you back because I know you have been really digging in. Show us your hat. Show us your hat. You just put
My
on.
hat. Yes, this is my business hat. One of the things we do also is a podcast called Tell You Later. It's a
Right.
Patreon supported show, and we've been playing between YouTube and Patreon. We have some very loyal followers, but I'm
Oh,
actually
awesome.
trying to get it more up on YouTube so more people know about it. So
Oh,
this is
yeah.
my way of advertising.
There you
It
go.
is
Hold
very,
your
very
hat down.
limited
Yeah, you go.
marketing. Yeah.
Limited marketing budget. And so Tell You Later is a podcast you've been doing with.
I started it with Will Ryan, a buddy of mine, and unfortunately, we didn't know, and he didn't know he had pancreatic cancer that
Uh,
year, and he passed away 9 months after we started. And
oh,
so
gosh,
I
I'm
was like,
sorry.
well, should I keep doing it without?
Mm,
It's totally different because
yeah.
we were just basically goofing off during COVID, and he loved to tell stories. And then I thought, well, I know such interesting people. I'll just keep doing. And everybody I know that I bring on, I think, have very interesting stories that are not a little out of the mainstream. And
Yeah.
so, I could call everybody I know who's famous, but that isn't really what I want, like stories that people don't normally hear. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of fun a lot of it's voiceover. We say voiceover, pop culture, and beyond.
Okay.
Um, because sometimes we just wear hats and change hats and talk and do goofy stuff.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's all improvised. That's what that's why I'm always sending people to you because my husband he keeps saying, and there's no script. I'm like, no, he's the producer and he still thinks it's strange that we don't have a script and are able to just blabber like we do. But we say where you learn so much about so little, and vice versa.
And so little about so much.
Exactly.
That
Yes.
sounds like fun. Now
You're
you
gonna have to be a
also.
guest one of these days.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be so
Usually we try
fun.
to get people in person, but
Well,
it's
that's
not
harder for
always
me.
possible. But you might come out here.
I might. You might come out here.
I might again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is Tell You Later, the podcast, but you're a voice actor by career, and you have been for a long time, right?
Over 40 years.
Yeah. Which it's like, how would you start at age 5?
You just stop. You just stop. You just don't die, and you
Yeah.
just keep working.
You can't kill her.
They've tried.
I'm gonna do it to myself.
It's funny. One of my video games, my character died. I'm like, well, that was fun. And then like the next year, they called me back. I'm like, but he
Aren't I
died.
dead?
Well, video games don't work that way. You got some more stuff to do. I'm like, okay. So we've been doing it for like 10 years. It's hilarious.
Awesome. Oh my god, that is fun. Well, let's talk. See, I could get so distracted by your career, which is just, like, okay. And what I found was really interesting, and I wanted to bring you back because I did have you as a guest and love that voiceover, my original podcast, a long time ago.
Oh,
But now I wanna talk about the business aspect of all this stuff that you're doing and the conferences that
The
you go to for your
business. It's a
yeah,
business, isn't it? It used to
yeah.
just be a job, a part-time job that paid really well, and it's become a business. Yeah. And I'm kind of a I'm not a powerhouse of a personality when it comes to business. I'm pretty good at speculating, and I'm not afraid to try new things, which
No,
I think
mm-mm.
is a good thing.
Yes.
Even the fact that I'm still doing this podcast, which was never my idea. It was Will's and my husband's idea, and I'm like, all
Wow.
right, okay, fine, come on, I'll help you do this.
I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah, no, but it does let people know that you're still alive, and that's kind of good.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess.
and but I didn't start out, but I have to tell people who are coming to voiceover now, this is a business. It's really, really your business, and you have to figure out how to make yourself relevant. As a matter of fact, um, well, I'm a mentor for women in animation this
The organization?
season. Yeah, just
Okay,
for
great.
3 months. You
Right.
volunteer, and so I've been having guests on to talk to my mentees.
Yeah.
And, one of them was saying, I wanna be a Disney princess,
Mhm.
and I'm a really good singer." And he's like, "Okay, you and everybody else, what makes you different?" And
Mhm.
we have to start and
Once you
that's
have the
the
basics down, right?
well, yeah, but my point is, a lot of times, I mean, we have to think of ourselves. We have to appreciate ourselves so that we can know what we bring to the table, so
Mm.
that you can communicate that to somebody.
Mhm.
Because why would I hire you over this person?
I
And
struggle with
so
that too.
we all do. And
Mm.
so, what makes you relevant? I
Mhm.
think
And how do you answer that question? I mean, I think that's a hard question, especially to ask oneself looking in the mirror. We all get a little bit more like, "I don't wanna answer that because I don't
if you
think I
look
know a
in the
good
mirror for
answer."
more than 20 seconds, you start bawling, right? I mean,
Well,
it's
that could happen
just
too, depending on what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking.
right. I mean, I think that's normal.
Yeah.
Um, and but that's really the key, especially these days. Everybody, the younger generation, and I have my daughter, my kids are in their 30s, I can see how they operate, and they're very skeptical. Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be sold, but they curate their own lives, and I think producers do too. And everybody, and this has been true since the beginning of time,
Mm,
people want to work with people they know and
mm,
trust and like
and
to work
like.
with.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I would say the first thing, if you're serious about letting people know who you are, don't make negative comments to the world, because you could alienate half of the people who could
I
hire you.
I've said that before. Yes, I've said that before. But, it's hard. I guess I don't wanna go off on this track so much because I'm not sure that it's not the acting side, so I guess it falls into this
The
category because 'cause I'm like,
business side.
yeah, like, when you are really thinking about yourself, how do you know how you are relevant versus others? I mean, what I immediately thought of, so help me let me explain and then you can jump in, was, well, how are you different or what makes you unique? Kind of easier for me to say than what makes you relevant because relevant just makes you feel like you're not relevant unless you know why you're relevant. And that's
Okay.
hard.
What makes you special? What makes you unique?
Unique. Yeah.
What
How do you
makes you different?
what makes you different? What differentiates you or what is really unique that you feel that you bring to the table that's different, right?
Right.
And
So,
yeah, go for
what
it.
do you think?
Well,
I,
you know, maybe it's the way you speak or the affectations that you have on a voice level. Sometimes though it's personality based and it's hard to quantify or qualify that into words.
well, look, like you have a specialty, right? I mean, although it's kind of assumed it used to be assumed that, when you were doing voice acting, you could improvise. But
Yeah.
not everybody,
Not everybody's
knows that
comfortable.
anymore.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't think they do. I don't think people hiring know that or expect it, but if you say, "This is, I'm really good at this."
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
for me, I guess I haven't really broken it down, but I think what kind of works for me is one, longevity. I've been around a long time and I
yeah,
know a lot of people. So I'm
yeah,
always willing. I love getting people jobs. I love recommending people. So I always let people know that I'm a resource. You know, I'm
yeah,
probably not the voice you need for any projects per se, but if you need many recommendations, I can recommend lots
a
of
ton of
people to
people.
you
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
know are good. So I think they kind of trust me when it comes to that.
right. And you're
Um,
talking when you say they, you mean the people who are making projects.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And just for
So
the sake of our audience, I wanted to mention that we you are based in LA. You're in
mhm,
the heart of a lot of this kind of work. Yeah.
right, yeah.
What about
Um,
let me just that's great for our audience that's here to kind of chew on for a minute while they can come up with questions and answers or questions and then you'll answer them. On a different side of the business, what kind of tools or technology are you jumping into or is somebody else helping you like a CRM? Are you doing marketing? Are you doing all that really hit the sidewalk kind of like hard work
yeah,
of sales.
I
But you've been
tried
in the
a
business
lot
a
of
long
things.
time. Okay.
I've tried a lot of things. I did Jonathan Tilley's program.
Ah,
I did and sometimes you spend a lot of time doing something and only a few things resonate with you. Like
uh-huh.
you can't push
Totally.
a rope and sometimes I'm the rope. It's like, okay, I have to be honest with myself. All these ideas sometimes are great. Do I have the energy to do that? Do I really want to do that? Because sometimes you can, and to not beat myself up, to just be
Yeah.
honest and say, "You
Right.
know what? I know this works. I don't want to. What do I really want to do?" And I'm fortunate because of course I'm always working like you said, but I I'm at a point in my life where I don't feel like I have to be that hamster who's always looking for work anymore. I
Awesome.
but
Okay.
what I do if I wanna meet people. That's how I do it. I try to
Yeah.
meet people. I try to, 'cause I figure, well, I have faith in God that
Yeah.
things will come to me because that's what's happened, I think
Yeah.
everybody
You have
needs to
faith and you have
trust.
proof. And you have proof.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we go through even when I started this business 40 years ago, I remember Sue Blue, who's a director and voice actor, and Susan said, "You're gonna have ups and downs. Just because you get a series doesn't mean, it used to
You're
be back
done.
then, you got a series, you could pretty much live off of that for the year, or 2 series, cartoon series, because 'cause we're only 3 channels. It's not like that anymore, but just, it comes up and down. Just because you get it one year doesn't mean you're gonna get it the next year, so save your money, live beneath your means, be mindful that this is
Yeah.
how things work anyway. So I've always, known that, okay, if things are slow, maybe that means go on vacation, go do
Mhm.
something, else. But don't think there's something wrong with you just because things are slow.
That is so perfect. And with that, I wanna open it up to the live audience that's here so they can
Oh,
ask you
okay.
some cues. So turn your videos on and I will let you guys just raise your hand visually because we can see you. And I know everything you have said has touched everybody in this room, even if we have a smaller group today. No worries. So I'm just going to go ahead and I think Lee and Rawl have their hands up. I don't see Harper, but so Harper, you'll have to text me or text in the chat. All right. So Lee and then Rawl.
Well, not a question, but I just appreciate
Okay.
what you just said, Katie, about when things get slow. Because I've been my primary work area has been genre has been e-learning, and it's been so slow for, like, over a year.
Hmm.
And so, I just, and it is, you do start to question, okay, is there something wrong with me? Do I need to find something else to do? you know, I
Sometimes you
mean,
do.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
I just retired from substitute teaching.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, I'm kind of trying to just focus on other genres. I'd really love to get more commercial work. And tonight I'm taking an audio description
See,
workshop.
that's what you do with that downtime. You
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
working on other things, and I just believe, I don't know if it's the butterfly effect or whatever, but you keep an object in motion stays in motion. It doesn't matter what you're doing, and you could be focused on. I found in my life, I'm working on this thing, and all of a sudden things are coming from the side that I didn't
Yeah,
expect
that's
would
right.
show
Yeah.
up.
It's so
Yeah. It's
true.
good. It's
To
good.
to put a button on that, I have had lots of things going on in my life, a lot of people know, and I really put things in voiceover kinda on the side unless it was a client that I already knew, that I already had, that was coming back for more, and, got back into it and accepted an audiobook gig because I liked the content, but I know it's so much work to take on, right? And at the same time, all these little things are coming in, It's like you're saying, if you stay in motion, and it might be that you're staying in motion in other ways, like creating a podcast or doing a
Oh,
project of your
absolutely.
own.
Just
Yeah,
honor your own creativity. You just,
exactly.
you know, I
That's
think,
really good.
and then you get other people involved sometimes that lead to, oh, so and so I know is looking for this. You just don't know. I mean, especially living in LA. I mean, you guys, I don't know where you
Especially,
are.
yeah.
But I mean, I went for a walk with some friends last week, and she's like, "Oh, this is my new neighbor. Oh, hello." Women, they learn stuff in 60 seconds. They know everyone's life story. And
Yeah.
she's like, Yeah, my daughter's engaged. Oh, what does your daughter do? She's an agent. Oh, that's interesting. So, I try to pay attention. Listening is the biggest part of voiceover, I think.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And
That's
paying
totally true.
attention because it's not about us, it's about what we can do for other people. You
Let's
can't.
bring in Rawl and,
Okay.
find out his question. Thank you, Lee, and then Judith raised her hand, so we'll get to that too.
Hi, Rawl.
Hi, is the audio working for a change?
It's working great, you sound
Oh,
fabulous.
wonderful. Well, I've got one success for no, I got two successes. I decided to go ahead and join you today because you're saying
Yes,
things that I resonate with, but don't know
I
what to
knew.
do with.
Yeah.
I also have been doing
Bring it
this
on.
Bring it
for,
on.
like 40 plus years, and
Are you a
I
radio
am
guy?
Um, started in radio, I guess, but then graduated or kicked out of radio and got into production, which led into voiceover work, which is good because all my radio friends are really having it bad
Mm.
as far as being able to be on mic. And I'm at the point where I am not only trying to figure out why I am relevant anymore, but what I've got left, I'm acknowledging my age, but what have I got left that is still of any value to anybody? I
Oh
just
my
found out.
gosh, I can't even believe you're saying that.
No, but I am. But I just got
Love Rawl.
released from one of my agents yesterday, one of my few remaining ones. So I'm trying to figure. Well, I'm trying to get some replacements. What what am I going to show on the placard that's any different? That can get any different
Well,
results? And
I
I
don't
haven't
know
come up with
anybody
any
who
answers.
sounds like you. I've never
Hmm?
heard you speak before,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah, I
love
have
your
one teacher that said, "You have a very unique voice," and that's probably a good thing and a bad thing.
Well, like me, I can't do
Mhm.
what Rebecca does. I
Well,
can't do what these other ladies do.
if I could even
Um,
be half as attractive as she is, I'd be all right. But that's
I think
outside my wheelhouse, as
I
they say.
think we have to take the Maria point of view. When God closes a door, he opens a window somewhere. And I
Mhm.
think, you know, you just have to it's hard to do because that's
Yeah.
nobody wants to be rejected, but we also have to remember that we hire our agents. And if you look back and think, what has this agent done for me? They're cleaning their roster. If you haven't gotten work from them anyway, hey, let's part as friends.
Oh, yeah, and
But
we've done that.
But so
To be
much
fair to
of
them, I haven't booked with them in 3 years.
well,
The
see?
one thing I
Yeah.
the one thing I had booked with them was pretty lucrative for them and for me, but
And
they
now
can't live
it's
on
not.
that, neither can I.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I book practically nothing from my agent. Or I have a
Mhm.
several agents, and every once in a while. So
Oh, yeah,
much of my work has come from
yeah. Well,
just
Referrals?
referrals and yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to put my finger on it, but meeting people. One time, VO Atlanta, Lee said we met down there. About 3 years after a conference, a guy I met there called me up and said, I have a project for you. Sometimes people just
mhm.
have you in mind and,
And are waiting for the project to meet.
Well,
they're waiting. Yeah,
but that big project came actually from a friend who was on the agent's roster who said, well, it was Colonel Sanders for KFC in Canada, and
fantastic.
said,
Is that where you are
audition for
in
this. That
Canada?
was, I actually finally got it, yeah, after 6 months of auditioning, find out which colonel they wanted. Um, it was
Because
a,
of the iterations of the Colonel.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
because
in
you got the cranky old colonel, which is what I could get on the archive stuff. No,
You
they
know
want
what,
somebody a little
Raul?
more friendly.
Have you looked into audio dramas?
I started out doing what you could call audio dramas. I loved old radio shows when I got
Well, dude,
introduced to them in college.
there's a huge resurgence. And what's great about that is you're working ensemble. So you're meeting a bunch of people when you
Mhm.
get a project. So I would really recommend just to keep your juices flowing, look
Yeah.
up graphic audio. We're actually going to do an
graphic audio,
audio
yeah.
drama camp in Colorado Springs in August for a week about audio drama.
The
So,
one thing that I've found so far, and I haven't found the right things, and I'll admit that, is that all of the people that I know of who are doing radio drama or radio shows or audio cartoons or whatever are doing it for the fun of it. They're not getting any. They're not getting paid for it. They're not doing it for the
Oh,
contact.
I know people who are definitely getting paid. Paul
Okay.
Vinger, who's normally here, he can't be here today, he's on vacation, has been doing several. And it's kind of like what Katie was saying and what we already know. You know, he got involved in that. He found that the rate was decent. So he took it also so he could keep working. And he keeps getting invited back for their next project. So
Yeah.
it's,
heart
you know,
matters. A lot of them don't pay very much, but Raul, if you're like me, over the age of 60, if you don't need it to survive, do it for fun and see
Yeah.
what
Well,
happens.
I needed to add on to survive because I can't live on what I've got now. Let me get this written down before I relinquish the mic to somebody else. But graphic, what was it you said? Graphic
Graphic audio.
audio. All right, I'll start with
Yeah.
that one.
And you know
yeah.
what?
But
We just finished an advanced audio drama class on Saturday, and I think have somebody who is giving a whole list of places where you can find work, and I'll get a copy of that. I'll send it to Rebecca. Where do you
Oh,
that would be
great.
very gracious of
are
you.
you in Canada?
No, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, where
Okay.
them dirt floors on the mic booth
Okay,
make for
well
some real good acoustics.
keep your eyes open when they do Sonicon in Lynchburg. It's
Conicon,
Sonicon, Sonicon.
Sonicon.
Let's
Sonicon.
take let's take one. I'm so sorry. I want to just Raw, if you have another question, we'll come back.
No, I've taken up too much time, but thank you
No,
very,
okay,
very
no, it's
much.
all good stuff.
But it's an
Um,
audio conference at Liberty
SonicCon.
University.
There you go. SonicCon, and that's where
Every
again?
other year they do it at Liberty in Lynchburg,
Yeah.
There you go.
Lynchburg is only about 6 hours from me.
Are we talking about Lynchburg, Tennessee?
No,
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, perfect. Lynchburg, Virginia. Judith, let's get your question and then we're going to stop the recording. For those of you who are here, you'll get to ask more and talk more.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm really interested in that audio drama stuff you just talked about, actually, because I also want to get into that more. So I would appreciate those resources. And yeah, I'm familiar with Liberty, so great. I really admire you, Katie, because I follow you on socials, and you know, you're that genuine person. So I love that. You know, you are who you are everywhere. So
I
I was
think that's kind of key, by the way, guys, because if you're just out there making up stuff so people will, I don't know, I think, anyway.
It doesn't make you visible, does it? Yeah. Anyway, so I respect that. And so I was curious, actually. I mean, the stage of where you are in your career, and obviously you're this, we admire you and you've been in it a long time. Do you find that doing your Instagram and all of that, does that make a difference? Or is that just sort of a for funsies thing? Or do you feel like people, I mean, you probably don't need to be discovered, do you? Really, at the
Well,
stage you're
yeah,
at, but
I have it is a tool though, and I pay people to help me because, if I do it, I'll get a text from my daughter telling me what I did wrong. So,
kids are great like that, aren't they?
I mean, theoretically, you're supposed to have a theme. It's supposed to look like stuff, and so I thought, and I paid somebody to tell me that, and that's another thing I threw out, Rebecca. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's too
I
much.
kind of get the idea. I'm learning how to put links in if I'm doing something. Have to, and I try to ask people, to help me. If there's a special event, I'll send them the stuff and say, make up something that people think looks the way it's supposed to, and put it up there for me, please. But every once in a while, I'll do something. I think it does keep you. I mean, like, I didn't know you were following me. I don't follow a lot of people back. That's very sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do think that's how people find out when I'm doing classes.
Mm.
Mhm.
So, I
So
definitely.
in that way, you're getting noticed because,
Yeah.
if you think about it, depending on where you are in your career and what you're doing with your career, and if you're expanding into classes and offering them, social media can be that angle. I know that's how I use it too for voiceover improv.
Yeah, so I kind of it is important, and I know if you don't post semi regularly, then I don't know how it works, but I know you can't go super long without something. So I, ask my girls to, tell me what to do. Sometimes, they'll have ideas and I'll just say, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just do I have to make a video? Do I have to do? So I
That's
do
a
do
quote
that.
from today. That just tell me what to do and I'll do it to your kids, from parents to kids about social media. That's great. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep you right where you are. Don't forget that thought. Hang on to that thought. I want to thank everybody who's here, Harper, Janet, Rawl, Lee, and Judith, for coming and being here live. And thank you especially, Katie, KatieLeigh.com. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'll put
that's
this
my
all.
that's my name on my birth certificate, KatieLeigh.com.
You were ahead of the game.
She was so
Yeah.
ahead of the game, and I hope that everybody else can enjoy this and come to the Biz Chat VO Influencer Live to ask questions and have the dialogue that we're going to take on right now. Bye.
Bye.